Kawhi Leonard, Clippers hit by another secret sponsorship allegation, NBA investigation takes a new turn. Intro, dramatic music. What if the biggest NBA salary cap scandal in years is much bigger than anyone originally thought? For months, the basketball world has been waiting for answers about Kawhi Leonard, Steve Ballmer and the Los Angeles Clippers. The central question has been simple. Did the Clippers find a way to secretly pay Kawhi Leonard money outside the NBA's salary cap system? That question originally centered on a controversial $28 million endorsement agreement with Aspiration, a company that had ties to Clippers owner Steve Ballmer. But now, a brand new report has surfaced, and it involves a company that helped build one of the most recognizable pieces of the Clippers' brand new home. Daktronics, the company behind the massive Halo board inside Intuit Dome. According to reporting from Pablo Torre Finds Out, multiple sources claim Kawhi Leonard had a previously undisclosed, multi-million-dollar sponsorship arrangement with Daktronics. And if that arrangement is ultimately proven to have been connected to the Clippers, the NBA's investigation could become even more serious. So today, we're breaking down the entire timeline, from Kawhi's arrival in Los Angeles, to the Aspiration controversy, to the NBA investigation, the blockbuster Toronto trade, and now this explosive Daktronics development. And most importantly, we'll explain what could happen next. Pause. Because this story isn't just about one endorsement deal anymore. It's potentially about the integrity of the NBA's salary cap system. Chapter 1, How did we get here? Let's go back to 2019. Kawhi Leonard was coming off one of the most iconic postseason runs in NBA history. After winning the 2019 championship and Finals MVP with the Toronto Raptors, Leonard shocked the basketball world by signing with the Los Angeles Clippers. The Clippers didn't just acquire a superstar. They changed the balance of power in Los Angeles. Steve Ballmer's franchise had landed one of the greatest two-way players of his generation. And over the years, Leonard became the centerpiece of the Clippers' championship ambitions. Even with injuries limiting his availability at various points, his production remained elite. In the 2025-26 regular season, Leonard played 65 games and averaged 27.9 points, 6.4 rebounds and 3.6 assists per game, while shooting 50.5% from the field and 38.7% from three-point range. Those numbers are important because they explain why the Clippers were so determined to keep Leonard. When healthy, he remained one of the NBA's most dangerous offensive and defensive stars. But then came the controversy. Chapter 2, the $28 million Aspiration deal. In 2025, investigative reporting from Pablo Torre brought a shocking allegation into the spotlight. Leonard had an endorsement agreement with Aspiration, a sustainability-focused financial company that had significant business connections with the Clippers. The reported value, $28 million. The problem wasn't simply that Leonard had a sponsorship. NBA players can obviously sign endorsement deals. The issue was the alleged nature of this particular agreement. According to the reporting, Leonard was supposed to perform promotional work for Aspiration but allegedly did little or none of it, leading to questions about whether the agreement was really an endorsement arrangement at all. The NBA wanted to know whether the money could effectively have functioned as additional compensation for Leonard outside his NBA contract. That would be a serious problem. The league therefore hired the prominent law firm Wachtell, Lipton, Rosen & Katz to conduct an independent investigation. The investigation began in September 2025. And this wasn't just a quick review. Investigators reportedly interviewed Leonard, his uncle and advisor Dennis Robertson, Steve Ballmer, Clippers executives and former Aspiration executives. Aspiration's co-founder Joseph Sandberg also cooperated with investigators and provided documents. Sandberg's involvement became particularly significant because he was later sentenced to 14 years in prison for fraud after being convicted of defrauding investors and lenders of more than $248 million. Ballmer, meanwhile, has maintained that he was himself a victim of Sandberg's fraud. And the Clippers have repeatedly denied that they used Aspiration to funnel money to Leonard. So, at this point, there are two very different narratives. The allegation says the arrangement may have been a mechanism for circumventing the salary cap. The Clippers' position is essentially that there was no such scheme. And the NBA investigation is supposed to determine which version is supported by the evidence. Chapter 3, Then the investigation got even bigger. By the summer of 2026, the investigation still hadn't produced a final ruling. NBA Commissioner Adam Silver repeatedly said he wanted the process completed. In June, Silver said the investigation couldn't continue indefinitely and that eventually the league needed finality. Then, in July, Silver again said the goal was to finish the investigation during the summer, ideally before the beginning of the next season. But there was another complication. Reports indicated that investigators were no longer looking only at Aspiration. They were examining whether Leonard had another previously undisclosed endorsement deal and whether the Clippers had improperly covered certain expenses connected to Leonard. And that brings us to the newest bombshell. Chapter 4, Enter Daktronics. On the latest episode of Pablo Torre Finds Out, new reporting emerged about Daktronics. For anyone unfamiliar with the company, Daktronics is a major manufacturer of large-scale sports video displays. And it has a very direct connection to the Clippers. Daktronics manufactured the enormous double-sided 4K Halo board at Intuit Dome, the Clippers' state-of-the-art arena. According to the new reporting, multiple sources connected Leonard to a previously unknown sponsorship arrangement with Daktronics. One source characterized the agreement as being worth millions of dollars. And here's where the allegation becomes especially significant. The report claims that Leonard was essentially used as a spokesperson for Daktronics, despite the company having no publicly known history of major celebrity endorsement relationships of this kind. Reuters reported that the arrangement was alleged by a source to have been a mechanism for funneling money connected to the Clippers to Leonard outside the NBA's salary cap structure. But there is an important caveat. This has not been proven. Daktronics has said Leonard is not currently under contract with the company. The NBA has not publicly confirmed that the alleged deal violated league rules. And the Clippers have not publicly acknowledged wrongdoing. So viewers should be very careful about turning an allegation into a fact. The real question is not simply, did Kawhi have a relationship with Daktronics? The crucial question is, what was the relationship, who arranged it, how much money changed hands, what services were actually provided, and was any of it connected to the Clippers? Those are the questions the NBA's investigators will have to answer. Chapter 5, Why This Matters. This is where the story gets bigger than Kawhi Leonard. The NBA's salary cap exists to create competitive balance. Teams aren't supposed to simply find creative ways to pay players additional money outside their official contracts. If a franchise could theoretically give a superstar a normal NBA salary and then arrange millions more through friendly sponsors or business